Alright, let's go ahead and try C11. Determine the zeros and roots of each function or equation. Remember to find those roots or x-intercepts. We're going to try one of these 5 methods. Remember, factoring there, when circled, is the easiest one, and then the stars will always work. So let's see if we can factor this one. And anytime you're factoring, you don't want an a value that's negative. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out this -1. So I get 2x squared minus 5x plus 1. Remember, you can always check your answer by distributing. Multiply there, you get -2x squared above, positive 5x above, and -1 above. So let's go ahead and try to factor this one here in red. Remember, a is 2, b is -5, and c is 1. So a times c is 2, and the b value is -5. Can you find two numbers that multiply to be 2, and the same two numbers add to be -5? Well, there's only a combination of 2 and 1, and they will never equal to add up to 5. Okay. So what does that tell us then? We can't factor. Let's just write that right quick. Hey. Can't factor. Okay, this doesn't work. There's nothing in there in yellow that we can find. All right, so let's go back to the drawing board. So number 2 method above there doesn't work. So let's go ahead and try the quadratic formula. Remember, completing the square only works best when a is 1 and the b value is even. So let's use the quadratic formula. What is the quadratic formula? Always write it down. X equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Let's make sure we know that here's my a value, b value, and c value. Let's use our highlighter here. So remember, my a value is -2. So every time there's an a, we're going to write -2. The b value is 5. So every time I see a b value, I'm going to write 5. And the c value is -1. So every time I see a c value, I'm going to write -1. So now let's go ahead and do the substitution. X equals, remember, you have to have this negative sign on the outside, regardless of whatever the b value is, which is 5, plus or minus the square root. The b value is 5. Remember, you put your replacement in parentheses, minus 4 times -2 times c value, which is -1, all over 2 times the a value, which is -2. So we just replace those values, right? And now let's go ahead and simplify. So I have x equals the opposite of +5 is -5 plus or minus the square root of 5 squared, which is 25. This one's going to be -4 times -2, which is +8, and +8 times a -1 equals -8, all over -4. All right, let's go ahead and now simplify some more. So x equals -5 plus or minus 25 minus 8 is 17, all over -4. All right, so I like this answer. This is an exact answer here, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight this. All right, so I would be happy with this answer, but I want to show you guys how the textbook has a similar answer or different. So what I first want to show you guys is changing this to a plus or minus. So you have 1 plus and you have 1 minus. So you have x equals -5 plus radical 17 all over -4. And what you can do with the denominator of that fraction is you have now negative 5 over negative 4 plus 17 over negative 4. Negative divided by negative is a positive, and radical 17 is a positive divided by negative. It gives me a negative. So that would be one of their answers. Okay, let's go over and try this other one over here. So x equals negative 5 minus radical 17 over negative 4. Basically, this negative 4 I'm going to repeat twice. So now you have x equals negative 5 over negative 4. The negative is referring to the radical 17 divided by a negative 4. So if you simplify that, you're going to get x equals a negative divided by negative is a positive. Negative divided by negative is a positive, and you'll have something that looks like this as your answer. So blue would be acceptable, yellow and green was what the book had, just to show you guys. Good luck.
Love math.